records are meant to be broken, and just how they
There's no best player or there no much favorite team on the
X factor against any team on the given day, they can surprise the best.
Absolutely. MVP, as we said. She's one of the most MVP for New Zealand women. Do you think Ian Bishop will turn out to say, remember the name Kiana Joseph?
Sure, they will surely put their best performance in the semi-final. So I think that they are looking very stronger as a group, as an each individual. So yeah.
And so how important will be her contribution against the mighty New Zealand?
Huge.
Semi-final number 2, and as we said at the group stages, we thought Group A would be the group of death. It turned out to be both the groups ended up being the group of death, and a formula in ICC events, especially in the shortest format of the game, we always say, never rule out the West Indies. They are there, they are live, and they are in the semi-finals out of nowhere, defeating England. And I have with the two experts out here, Parag and Rohan, welcome to the show. It's semi-final 2 now. As we can turn to our right or to our left, wherever your televisions are, it's Australia versus South Africa going on. But our focus now shifts from Dubai to Sharjah. Semi-final number 2. It's going to be played between White Ferns, which is New Zealand women, versus West Indies women. Very, very important game for both the sides. Both the teams need a victory. Both experienced skippers as well. I'll start with Rohan.
Yeah.
How much are you looking into somebody like a mighty West Indies who made it to the semis? Somebody like in England have been knocked out.
Surprising the way they started the World Cup, losing by 10 wickets. It was a hammering, and we thought, here we go again, the same West Indies. All the background noises and on-field performance will happen again. But they are just that kind of a team. Once they sense killing, they pounce on you. I think they see England and something kind of rubs onto them. I think for last 5-6 years they hadn't ever beaten England, but the time came and they did a great job. And it was a fantastic chase. We know it's a slow surface, but still to chase against a quality England team, that showed the kind of mental fortitude these Windies women have.
Chase it down comprehensively. Apart from the last faggot of the game, it was the tensions that were going on. They tried to get over the line quickly. Otherwise, if it would have been a normal game, I think they would have won it by 9 or 10 wickets probably. Parag, on the other hand, New Zealand, the White Ferns, you had predicted the beginning of the show, on the beginning of the tournament. Yes, Rohan, you heard it right. He said India will be knocked out. It will be Australia and New Zealand that will qualify to the semis. It turned out to be true at the same end as Group B as well. Now, are you feeling relieved? Are you feeling sad that no more Harmanpreet Kaur and her side facing in the semi-finals? Or is it the best, 4 of the best teams reached out to the semis?
Yeah, look, you in the tournament like Women's T20 World Cup, you have to show your best performance, and these 4 teams showed the best performance. We all know that. New Zealand started their campaign with strong Indian team. They unfortunately lost against Australia, but they again gained the momentum and just qualified through the knockout stages. And like they are looking stronger, like they're all the top order, middle order, and the other all rounders are doing great performance, contributing in the winning contributions. So yeah, it is looking great. Like White Ones qualified for the semi-finals, and we also know that Sophie Device, this might be the last World Cup. So I'm looking forward for it, and also White Ones will be looking forward to it. Like they have to present their best performance for the Sophie Devines because this might be her last World Cup. So yeah.
Absolutely. This will be her last World Cup as a captain, but don't know about a player. But yes, what a player she has been. She, along with Susie Bates, have played every single World Cup for New Zealand women. But Rohan, the tables, the odds, everything look towards Australia women. What if anyone among these two teams go to the finals? Is it still going to be Australia women who are favourites for the World Cup?
Man, any men's game, women's game, Australia always had favorites you go into, man. Especially the women's side, I think they have won, 6 or 7 titles, I think, in the T20 version. 6, right? So I think always they'll be the favorite. But one team, any team will be very off is always the West Indies, man. Just like the men's team, mercurial team, you never know who's going to turn up one day and the other day something completely different. So these kind of match winners these people have, the strength they have among the women's team, I think that's fabulous, and that can be X factor against any team on the given day. They can surprise the best.
Absolutely. The other day we saw Hayley Matthews' opening partner, Kiana Joseph. What a knock she played. Do you think Ian Bishop will turn out to say, remember the name Kiana Joseph?
You never know. Somebody else may also turn up. The old war horse, like a Diana Trottin, has some things to prove. You never know how she is. She's like the universe boss of the women's game, man. So you never know. The West Indies can pick out some random name. There was the spinner who picked up a 4-4 in that last game, Karishma Ramanak. I think she is pretty good. Shamaine Campbell's a pretty good experienced batter as well. So all these people can, anyone's name can come up to be the player of the day for the West Indies. So you never know who's going to turn up. It's just on the day which team turns up for them.
Absolutely, on the day which team turns up is going to be really crucial. Similarly for New Zealand new women as well, Parag, a lot of experienced players. They're playing matchup cricket because in the previous game we saw Sophie Devine said that I want to go with matchups just because the opponents had so many right-handers. She went with Fran Jones. So, what are your thoughts? Do you continue to play matchup cricket in a bigger stage? Now it's a knockout. No more experiment. You have to win this game. Do you think Sophie Devine will back her players depending on the matches? Because if we're looking into West Indies, they're a mixture of righties and lefties, more righties compared to lefties.
Yeah, I think Sophie Devine will back their matchups because we know that the how strong and powerful West Indies team is. And if you go with the matchups, like you have analyzed all the batters, like where they are weak, where they are strong. So you have to back your game plan against these kind of teams. And if those game plans will might work, then you have a chance to win the match against the team like West Indies. Sure, they will surely put their best performance in the semi-final.
Okay, so the best is yet to come as far as you when it comes to New Zealand women in the semi-finals. We will see that. But talking back to New Zealand and West Indies, starting with the West Indies, who ended up being the table toppers in Group B. Surprise, surprise. But as you said, Rohan, at the earlier of the show, never rule out the West Indies. Road to the semi-finals for them. Hammering loss, as you mentioned, versus South Africa by 10 wickets in the first game. From there, they made it 3 on the trot, defeated Scotland women by 6 wickets, defeated Bangladesh women by 8 wickets, defeated England women by 6 wickets. 3 times they've chased down and won comprehensively with a lot of wickets in hand, especially the last game versus England. I think that will give them a ton number of confidence, I must tell you, moving into the semi-finals.
As you said, I think the chasing has been their go-to mantra to success, and we have seen previously also in the UAE, the chasing is a bit more easier under lights. Once the dew slightly comes in, it's gets easier to bat on. Ball comes onto the bat. So I think that can be used well. But as you said, there was a game in the startup where they lost to West Indies. I mean the South Africans, where they had to bat first. So in case they have to bat first in South New Zealand, I think that can be a problem area for them to work on. But
Absolutely.
as Parag rightly said, New Zealand is a very calculative and a disciplined kind of team. But against a mercurial team like West Indies, certain plans may not work up at all because these guys can completely play a different kind of game that was
Absolutely.
not planned. So what West Indies, how they react will be a key matchup for me. I think player like Haley Matthews, the captain, I think if she steps up, I think all these game plans can give you a different turn.
Absolutely, that is true. That the experienced guns, if they turn up, that will be an absolutely different story. Similarly, Parag, for the White Ferns, they started off the campaign versus India, where we all were hoping, honestly speaking, we as Indians were hoping we can start off on a good note. Because they completely dominated the fixtures, defeated Team India massively by 58 runs, then lost to Australia by 60 runs. They fought back really well, defeated Sri Lanka by 8 wickets, and it was a very low total to defend versus Pakistan. They did that with ease and won it by 54 runs. Especially the last game. Talk us through at the halfway stage of the innings. If you're a
Yeah.
normal fan, which team were you heading towards? Pakistan win it comprehensively to give it to India?
Yeah, I think if we look at the journey of the New Zealand, then there are the very like if we look at the every match, then there are new match winners for like every there is for the every match like new player of the match for the every match. Like it shows the like proper team effort, like how White Ferns is
Correct. As a
have been
unit, yeah.
kept from the start of the tournament. Like they are not relying on the one or two players like Suji Vets, Amelia Kerr, or the Sophie Devine. They are all going with the group. They are all showing their equal. They are putting their equal contribution. So that is been their strength throughout the tournament. So I think that they are looking very stronger as a group, as an each individual. So yeah, it's
Mhm.
been a great sign for the White Ferns. I must say that.
Absolutely. And in the final game, as I asked you, against Pakistan, it was a very low total. We knew that Pakistan will come out hard. How good was that from New Zealand to keep things tight, bold to your plans, and not only defeat Pakistan but be defeated by a bigger margin so that India do not stay in contention anymore.
Yeah, we all know that how important that match was for the New Zealand to qualify for the knockout stage. So as a group, they hold their nerves. So they didn't make the many of the mistakes. Played out their game plans very at the crisp moments, and they successfully made out through the hard situation. And as a group, they all contributed equally in the fielding, in the batting, or in the bowling. So yeah, that must be the success mantra for the New Zealand team. So I must say that
Absolutely.
they showed their best performance in that crisp match.
Absolutely, it was the key mantra, and that's the reason why they are into the semi-finals. Before we move on to the pitch report, we know it's going to be played at Sharjah, but so far in the Women's T20 World Cup, the two venues it has been used, it's been a spin friendly. Rohan, talk us through your skipper Haley Matthews, single-handedly a match winner with the ball, with the bat, in the field as well. she's herself a match. How important will be her contributions against the mighty New Zealand women?
Huge, because as you said, not just as a captain but as an opening bat, I think she kind of sets the tone for the West Indies as well. And we've seen in the WPL for the Mumbai Indians how well she can bat on those slower surfaces, plays the spin pretty well too. That's a huge thing on this kind of pitch. If you can handle the spin bowling pretty well, I think that's half the job done. And being a senior player herself, if she along with the other opener Kiana and Deandra in the coming, I think these three will be the linchpins for the West Indies as seniors as well. If they can get going, I think Haley Matthews can shepherd the other players as well and take the game deep. I think that will be the planning of action for the West Indies to come good in this game.
Absolutely. And similarly, Parag, just like West Indies have a Haley Matthews, you have your woman in form, Amelia Kerr. Her
Yeah,
experience is absolutely, we can see with the ball, with the bat. In form, she can definitely perform in the knockouts where it matters the most.
exactly. We all know that the like how important is Amelia Kerr for the New Zealand team. Like she can contribute with the bat equally with the ball or also in the field. And she also showed their best performance against the mighty Australian team, where she took 4 wickets and also contributed with the bat. So it showed that the how strong, how skillful uh, player is, and it must be the key player. It might be one of the key player for the
Correct.
new Icons in the semi-final if they want to go through final and later on must win the tournament. So yeah, it is very important.
Absolutely. Absolutely. She's one of the most important play MVP, as we said. She's one of the most MVP for New Zealand women. But talking about the pitch report of Sharjah, Rohan, it's going to be played at the Sharjah Cricket Stadium. What are your thoughts? Because when you look into West Indies and what have they played so far in the tournament, I must tell you, so far in the tournament, they have played in Dubai thrice and only once at Sharjah. And the semi-final is going to be played at Sharjah. What are your thoughts? Will that be an additional advantage towards the Kiwis who have played more at Sharjah?
Definitely, yeah. As you said, venues familiarity will help them in formulating the plans and the kind of ground dimensions, the fielding positions. All those little things can be advantage for the Kiwis. But come a big day, we know it's like on at that particular moment what works for you and not. And if you can perform well at that particular crucial juncture, I think that can be the turning point for the game. So West Indies is a team that can do well because just like how they beat England, even the record against the Kiwis isn't so great in the recent past. But again, records are meant to be broken, and just how they stunned the English women, I think they can definitely turn the tables against the Kiwis as well because they have the experience. And World Cup is a big stage, and these ladies love a big stage to
Yeah.
deliver, man.
Absolutely, but similarly, Parag, Sharjah has been one apiece, one lost one at Sharjah, but you have played two games more than West Indies. So are you taking a lot of confidence, knowing the surface, knowing what to do well? You have been really good. New Zealand has been really good, especially in defending totals. So you are confident in playing in these conditions.
Yeah, like White fans must be confident because they played more games than the West Indies. They know the surface very well than the West Indies batters, and they are like they have very substantial good spinners because Sharjah pitch is favoring spinners more than the batters. So like, but the one thing is like Rohan just said that it's about all the day. Like it's on the day, like who, like which player, which batter has the day, and who showed best performance on that particular day. It all matters only. So I must say that there is no best player or there no must like favorite team on the. Uh, uh, we can't guess like who will win the match. It's just
Absolutely.
all about the day. So I'm not
On that
sure.
day, who performs well, who brings
Yeah.
out the best A game is the victorious. But I asked this question in the previous preview show as well in the semi-final one. I'll ask that once again to Ruan. No Asian sides in the semi-finals. Is that a good sign?
No, since the UAE is a kind of a slowish pitch, you expected some of
Exactly.
the Asian teams to come up uh, adapting to the conditions, especially India. I think the fielding standards and the fitness levels overall were a bit missing, and not to forget the catching. I think India, Pakistan, I think it was abysmal to be honest. For the international standards, it's lagging a lot. I think huge areas of improvement are there for the entire Asian teams, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, including power hitting is another area to work upon. I think playing far too many games on slightly smallish grounds and good batting surfaces, they are not
And
able
playing
to
too many
adapt to
dot
this.
balls.
Too many dot balls, no strike rotations, a lot of areas. I think fitness is the main thing. I feel if we work on that primarily, I think all these things will be sub factors to carry forward with. So I think huge letdown for the Asian teams this T20 World Cup. But as I say, it's a learning, and I am sure they will only improve from here.
Absolutely. And a few months before, Parag, we were discussing about the Asia Cup champions, Sri Lanka. Did we ever think that they will not win a single game in the world?
Oh, that's much very concerning performance from the Sri Lankan team because as I said earlier also in the video, they are only reliable on the one or two players. Like they are reliable more on their
Correct.
captain Chamari Attapattu,
Samaria
and
Tapatu.
also their other opening batter like Harshita Samara Vikrama. Or they have only few players who on whom they can rely on, and other players didn't contribute as much that needed. So that's why these are the areas where they lag their performance, and there must be the one reason they are unable to show their best performance in this World Cup. So yeah, it is very pretty much concerning from the Sri Lankan side.
Absolutely, the reason why we cannot see a single Asian side in semi-finals. For deserving teams have gone it through. But focusing into the players to watch out for, Rohan, starting with you for the West Indies, I think my three players will be Haley Matthews without a doubt, captain herself, Deandra Doughton, and I'm going to go with Shemaine Campbell. The three players to watch out for. What are yours?
I'll add the bowler there, the Amy Effie Fletcher. I think she has been very good
If you
throughout the
Fletcher,
tournament.
absolutely.
She can be another one to look out for the West Indies. But as you said, the experienced players have to step up on crucial must-win knockout games. If these people can turn up rightly, I think West Indies definitely stand a better chance.
Absolutely. So you have gone with your three. You've made one change. You've gone with Iffy Fletcher into the players to watch out for.
Yeah.
Similarly, Parag, over to you. New Zealand, three players to watch out for. Without a doubt, Sophie Devine. Without a doubt, Amelia Kerr for me. And my third will be Lee Tahuhu. What are yours?
Yeah, but I just made a one change. Like here, I will go with the Rosemary Meyer because
Okay.
she showed some exceptional performance earlier in the tournament. So I will back that player, and I'm pretty sure that she will showed up in the semi-final match.
Okay, so you have also made one change. You've gone with Rosemary Mayer as your third player to watch out for. Fair enough. We're done with the players to watch out for. Moving into the predicted playing 11, just like we said in the first game as well. Focusing firstly with West Indies. I think if it's a winning formula, you're topping the group, Rohan. Don't change the playing
No
11.
change,
I
no
think
change.
I'm
No.
going with an unchanged 11. Are you going the same?
Yeah, definitely. Don't think what's not broken is what I feel. West Indies have got a good balanced 11 for these conditions. Yeah, I think they should stick with the unchanged one.
Okay, and similarly, Parag, you're going with matchups Sophie Devine as we discussed earlier, and once again going with the same 11 with Fran Jonas in the side. What are your thoughts? Same 11?
Yeah, I will back my same 11 because I'm going with the same 11 because this team is coming from the winning momentum. So why to
Absolutely.
change that? As Rowan said, why to change something which is not broken? So yeah, I will back
Absolutely.
that.
So it was a no-brainer, to be honest, ladies and gentlemen. Just like in the semi-final one, South Africa, Australia went unchanged according to us. Similarly, West Indies and New Zealand go unchanged. Now is where I put both of them into the hot seat. Starting with Rohan, it's predictions time now. New Zealand woman versus West Indies woman. Predictions time at Sharjah. What is your percentage? Starting with Rohan.
Percentage wise, I think because of the matchups and the familiarity of the conditions, New Zealand do start favorites for me, say a 55-45. But being the kind of a West Indies team that I know, once they
The
sense a bit
underdog.
of a scent, and if you look at other way also, because generally Australia, if they do win the semis and get into the final, whom will be they more wary of, the West Indies or the Kiwis? Definitely the West Indies, man. You don't know who's gonna turn
Exactly.
up. So just to make the contest a bit exciting, I'll say let's go for the West Indies.
So you've indirectly said that it's going to be Australia coming out victorious from the ongoing game versus South Africa.
Kind
Okay.
of looks so. That's it.
We'll wait and see that. But so similarly over to you, Parag. What's your percentage? He said
So
55-45 to the New Zealand.
I will go with the White Ferns for 60 and West Indies for the 40 because the kind of team West Indies have, we don't know which player might show best performance. Like any bowler can hit 20 runs in an over, any batter can hit wickets. So yeah, like it's West Indies team is very unpredictable. So I will give 40% for them, but I will back White Ferns 60%. Sure.
60-40 to New Zealand woman for Parag, 55-45 to Rohan for New Zealand woman. Both have gone with New Zealand, but at the end of the sentence, they have mentioned West Indies woman is very unpredictable. Do not write them off. That's what you should also do, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, both of you. Thank you to all the viewers for watching this video. We're done and dusted with the semifinals. It's time for the grand finale. We'll see which team out of these four make it to the final two. We'll wait and see that. Don't forget to subscribe to Fifth Number. Press the bell icon as well. Thank you so much. And bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.